Uh, hey guys, Fast D here once again, and I want to do a vlog about certain blue hedgehog because it was his 25th anniversary, and I thought I'd go through memory lane with you guys. I have a few older brothers, and I my one of my first games I had was on the Sega Mega Drive. I didn't have a Nintendo Entertainment System when I was younger. My first console was literally the Sega Mega Drive, and I was pretty much born when Sonic 1 first was released. I was born in the same year. And to me, Sonic has sort of grown up with me, but not just, oh, I was a child. As in, it literally grew up with me. I'm pretty much the same age as Sonic. So that's a good way of keeping track of how old I am. Oh, I played Sonic 1 it was one of the first games I played was Sonic 1 on the Sega Mega Drive. And I've never beaten it. I still haven't beaten it to this day, at least not officially, not on the cartridge version of the game. I played the arcade version, which eventually I beat, but I don't class it as a win. And then the second game I ever played was Sonic 2, which was the one I played with my brother. We had two controllers, and I would always play as Tails because my brother was much better at being Sonic than I was, and we always took turns playing Sonic and Tails. So whenever one died, essentially, let's say I was playing Sonic and I died, I would swap the controller back to him, and I would play as Tails. To be fair, I really liked Tails. Tails was, to me, how I saw myself to my older brother. And although I would see myself as more of a Sonic guy now, I always saw myself as Tails because I was, the little one, the cute one, the one that always follows. So I always played it that way. And then Sonic 3 is probably my favorite game in the franchise because I never bought any of the other Sonic games afterwards, not until Sonic Heroes, because I didn't know what a Dreamcast was. I saw advertisers for Sonic R, and we never had a Sega Saturn. But I was a kid. I didn't know anything at the time. By the time Dreamcast came out, I was 10, and I didn't know what a Dreamcast even was. I never even heard of a Dreamcast until the Xbox pretty much came out. And yeah, I had Sonic 3 for the longest time. I had Sonic 3 and I had Sonic Knuckles. I beat it finally. It was when I started uni when I officially beat Sonic 3 on my own and finally got past that stupid barrel, which I know everyone will talk about when it comes to these sort of retrospectives. The stupid barrel did not make any sense. I'm saying this now. Nobody knew how to use this. You didn't introduce this dynamic. All I did when I used the up and down button was just to talk because I thought it was a cool effect. While I was during that time between Sonic 3 and Sonic Heroes, there wasn't really much for me when it came to Sonic. I came back when Sonic Heroes was officially coming out for PS2. And the thing I did at the time, I didn't know about Sonic Heroes until I saw this random sticker in my school. And it was on a window pane, and I really wanted a sticker because I didn't know where I could get it. I saw all of a sudden, I saw all these people in my school who had the game, and I wasn't like at my best at that point in time as well. I was pretty much a loner for the most part, so it was like the one thing I could sort of cling on to, and I was looking for the sticker in school, and then I took it. I just took it off the window and I put it on my records of achievement. I don't know if I still have it. If I do, I'll post it up somewhere. But that's what I did, and I started to get into drawing at that point as well, which influenced a lot of what I do now. Started getting into a drawing, and one of the first drawings that I did was of that sticker. Now, just to preface it a little, when in the library they had postcards for Sonic Heroes, and it showed Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and you could actually take them off as stickers. By the time I found out about it, I couldn't find it. They didn't have it anymore. So what I had done was I didn't want to lose the sticker because I kept losing the sticker. I think I kept losing the sticker at the time when I decided to draw. I don't know what the complete antithesis was, but I started drawing. So this is actually the first drawing I did. It was of Knuckles, and it was one of the first drawings of a Sonic character I had done. It was the first one that I even colored in, and I'm actually super proud of it because I had never thought of myself as an artist. I never thought of myself as someone who was good at or decent at drawing, and I know even now to this day it's not great. This does not look good. His nose is too long, but what are you gonna do? I was 11 at the time, 11, 12, and at that point I started to get more and more into drawing. So I did one of Tails, I think. This one was of Tails from that same graphic, from that same postcard. and I didn't have the sticker for myself in the end, but that's what I decided to do a drawing of, and I actually named them as well. Like I did all the graphics. Maybe I should go back and redo these. So this one is of Vector. I actually still think this one holds up. I think this is one of my good pieces. I was always scared of coloring them in. Whenever I did a drawing, I was always scared of coloring them in because I didn't want to ruin the picture. You'll see why later on. So this one is of Big the Cat. We want Big the Cat's adventure free. We're looking for that. I started coloring this one in, but I never finished it because I ran out of purple pencil when I was doing it in French class. We had a lot of substitutes at the time, and we never finished this drawing. Maybe I should consider finishing it though. So I had a friend called Christian, and he told me about the Sega Dreamcast and these games called Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I had other friends who told me about it, but I didn't believe him. And it took me a long period of time. I actually didn't know about Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 until year 9, so I was probably around about 14 that time. And one of the things, because I was getting so into drawing Sonic characters, and I was only into Sonic characters, I wouldn't draw anything else at this point in time. It was only Sonic characters. What I did was he made like a miniature version of the cover art, specifically just Shadow and Sonic, but when you put them together it looks exactly the same. So I based my drawing off his little cutout drawing thing that he did. So here's one of Shadow, and as you can see, it's not exactly the greatest drawing in the world, but it was my first time seeing Shadow. I didn't know what to do. So yeah, I actually thought it would look pretty cool at the time. And you can see it's not finished. It's so scruffy, and I did that I tried to do it for as many of the characters as I could, like Shadow the Hedgehog, just for cons. And I did one of Sonic. Now there's a bit of a story to this one. I showed the original, like you see all these add-ons, like these things in pencil. Like I gave them a watch and an S and so on and so forth. I added that in after I had finished the original drawing. The reason being was I showed it to my friend and he didn't like the drawing. He actually thought it looked bad. Now, to be fair, he's a much better artist than I am. You should go check him out. But this is what I did after hearing it. And it was like, oh, he just looks, he looks high. So I started adding stuff in to his character, and it was just like, there we go. So yeah, I think this was done in year 8. At that point in time as well, Shadow the Hedgehog was starting to get released, and and when I first found out about it, I found it in a magazine where you had Sonic on one side of the page, and then behind it would be Shadow. So essentially, it was back to back, and you couldn't see what was about to happen. And to me, this was really cool. So I thought the drawing for Sonic was really fun. Like it looked something like this, but instead in the middle it says "You think you know Sonic," so it was around about here where his knee would be. And I had to make a lot of it up. But I actually was really proud of this because it looks really good. I think it still holds up. It's still one of my best drawings, at least from that time period. So yeah, there's that. And then finally, on the other side was Shadow. Now I'm disappointed with this one because I colored it in. But when I first did this, it took me so long to do a Shadow the Hedgehog. I actually thought that graphic was really cool. If I find the image, I'll post it up on the side here. But this is how Shadow turned out, and it's like I'm disappointed because of this bit here and this bit here. He looked much better in black and white. I'm telling you that now. He looked much better when he was just in black and white. I didn't have to color him in. But I started having a bit more of an obsession about coloring things in. Oh yeah, and the reason why this is sort of blue is because when you're looking at the image, it was in a night alleyway, and there was like this sort of blue tint to the gun, and it was shining off and so on and so on. I thought it was really cool. This one here, which is of Shadow the Hedgehog, and this was taken from the art for Sonic Rivals. When they first announced Sonic Rivals for the PSP, there was a graphic art where you see Silver, Sonic, and Shadow on the right hand side, and I thought Shadow was I think it was from that one. I may be wrong. If I do find the right graphic, I'll put it in. But yeah, that was Shadow from that particular piece. And Sonic has always, at that point, that's kind of how I got into art. I think there's one more piece that I'm going to put in. There was a few other things that I had done as well, and I didn't know I had these until now. I'd forgotten that I had them. So I'll show the two worst ones, the worst ones of the two. So you all know about the whole, Sonic OCs thing. I actually tried to do original characters because I wanted to see new aspects. I was like, I'm going to try and experiment a little. And I did this essentially as a doodle while I was in class because I was doing Sonic characters a lot of the time. So this was one of them. This is meant to be like a female concept. I did not know what to do with this. I think I did this while I was in college. And I was just happy that I was able to create something. You know, there's that. It never had a name. Maybe you guys can give it a name. But it was meant to have like a bit of a midriff with a skirt motif to it. And a jacket and so on and so forth, giving it more like normalish hair. Although it looks like my hair now. So, yeah, I guess. And then there was this one. I actually colored this one in. I had more of a concept to it, but I've forgotten why I had drawn this one. I really like it. You know, they all have very similar faces because Sonic has that habit. But yeah, this is one of the other ones I had done. I still don't know what to do with it. I still don't know what. I didn't give it a name. I just decided this is what I wanted to do. So if you guys want to. So this one, actually, I put the most amount of time in. I never tried to do an original piece. I've never tried to do an original drawing of Sonic, like a proper Sonic fan art. I've never tried to do it up until this particular piece, and I'm super proud of this one because I put so much detail into it, or at least I tried to put so much detail into it, and I was super happy with it. I don't know when I made it. I didn't mark it, but this is a pretty old piece of paper, so I'm pretty. But it looked like this, and there's a Chaos Emerald here if I'm pointing correctly. There's a Chaos Emerald here, Sonic, Shadow. It actually stemmed from this. I actually drew this originally, just the spines, and it was like, oh, it looks like he's running towards something, and then it kind of just spawned off from there. And I gave it the backgrounds. I was super happy that I was able to get these backgrounds in. And then I had Metal Sonic here. I have Eggman in his original Sonic 1 boss thing. I have Tails here. I think I have Knuckles here. And then just all these characters trying to go for one Chaos Emerald. And I was super proud of this. I'm still proud of this. And I don't want to do anything with it. Like, I even tried to put the checkpoint. I forgot to put the checkpoint. There's a checkpoint, the palm trees. Did I put in any flowers? No, I didn't. Oh, I did. I put in flowers there. So I was super happy with this one. This is actually my favorite piece. And I wish I could stick it on the wall, but I'm scared I might lose it afterwards. So, to me, Sonic has always been this thing of creativity, and it's what got me into doing most of the things that I've ever done, whether it came to video games, whether it came to compositing, when it came to these videos as well. At some point I do want to talk more about Sonic in one of his games, but Sonic has influenced me a lot for the last 25 years, because to me it's kind of like a partner in crime, someone I grew up with, someone I essentially share a lifetime sort of with. It sounds weird when I say it that way. What I mean by it is, so essentially I have walked with, and it's walked with me throughout my life, pretty much since when I was born to now. And we're both 25, we're both gonna go on into the future. So, yeah, happy birthday Sonic, happy 25th, happy 25th Eggman, I guess. And I hope to see you guys next time. I wonder if you do like this vlog, let me know. And let me know your favourite memories from the Sonic Adventure franchise, good or bad. Alright, thank you very much, guys. See you next time.
I'm Mike Pollock, sometimes known as Dr. Eggman, and this is Foxy's one and only.